This would begin when you would see Zeno-sama resting at home while both of his guardians watched him. At one point, both would feel a very strange energy, but this energy was present throughout the room and not in a specific place. One of the guardians would receive a hole in his stomach and fall dead to the ground. The other guardian, fearing the worst, would hold Zeno-sama and wake him up. "What's going on?" Zeno-sama would ask in a bad mood about how he was awakened. "Escape," the guardian said when creating a portal and throwing him there. Zeno-sama would appear next to Grand Priest, who was in another part of the palace. "Sir, is something wrong?" Grand Priest would ask, confused. "One of the guardians said to escape and took me out of my room in a portal," Zeno-sama would explain. "I understand," Grand Priest said seriously. Grand Priest would go with Zeno-sama to his room, finding both guardians murdered. "Someone killed my guardians," Zeno-sama would point out. "I see. One of the guardians took him out of here before they attacked him," Grand Priest said. "But I wonder, who was the attacker?" A few minutes later, we see Goku and Vegeta training on the planet of Beerus. They exchanged blows while Whis guided them. "Stop making so much noise. I can't sleep with this mess," Beerus would complain. Suddenly, Grand Priest would arrive with Zeno-sama. Beerus would jump out of his chair, terrified. Something must be happening for Zeno-sama to come in person, Whis thought. "Goku, so you were here," Zeno-sama said cheerfully. "Little Sen, what a surprise," he would greet Goku. Whis would approach his worried father. "What happened?" Whis would ask. "Why don't I see your guardians?" "They were murdered," Grand Priest would answer. "That's why I want Goku to be my new guardian," Zeno-sama would intervene. "Me? Your guardian?" Goku would ask when he pointed out. "Yes. Don't you like the idea?" Zeno-sama would ask, something sad. "He loves it," Beerus would intervene, terrified. "In fact, yesterday I was asking for you because I missed you a lot." "I'm sure he wants to accept it with great pleasure," Beerus said. Zeno-sama would slowly turn to Beerus. "Don't talk about him," Zeno-sama said very seriously, and Beerus would move away terrified. "So what do you say?" Zeno-sama would ask. "Do you think I could be a good guardian?" Goku would ask. "And why not? You are very strong," Zeno-sama said. "The only thing you should do is watch over Zeno-sama from possible dangers," Beerus would explain. "If that's all, what happened to the other guardians I had?" Vegeta would ask. "Both were murdered. But don't worry, I'll find the one responsible. The important thing is that Zeno-sama is protected while I'm away," Grand Priest said. "Well, I guess it will be fun," Goku said when accepting the invitation. Beerus would put Grand Priest aside for a moment to talk to him. "Be honest, you could revive the guardians. Why count on Goku, who is not as strong as them?" Whis would ask. "The guardians were revived, but I hid them somewhere in this universe. I need them to track the attacker. Not even they could feel who it was," Grand Priest would explain. "I chose Goku precisely because I will be attentive to Zeno-sama. If the enemy attacks, I will be present." "You mean that Goku was a bait?" Whis said, something annoying. "I would like to call it a distraction," Grand Priest would laugh. "Well, Goku, it's time to go," Zeno-sama said. And so Zeno-sama and Grand Priest would take Goku with them. "Mr. Vegeta, I think we'll leave the training here," Whis would announce. "Don't you train me anymore because that idiot Kakarot left?" Vegeta said, something annoying. "Something like that. I want him to go to Earth. I have a bad feeling," Whis would explain. Hours later, Zeno-sama would go to his palace with Goku, showing him the whole place. "What a little Sen, you have a very big house," Goku said, surprised. "Do you think it's safe to live in such a big place?" Goku would ask. "What do you mean by very big?" Zeno-sama would ask. "The bigger your house is, it will be easier for someone to hide to attack you," Goku would explain. "So what? That's why you're here," Zeno-sama said. "Well, okay," Goku would laugh. Goku at one point would turn alert. He had felt something strange. "What's going on, Goku?" Zeno-sama would ask. "It's nothing, it just seemed to me that someone was watching me," Goku said. At one point, Goku would move his arm in an agile reflex. He would catch an arrow with his hand. "Who's there?" Goku would ask, alert, as he transformed into Super Saiyan Blue. "Don't worry," Grand Priest said. "It was me." Are you the one who wanted to attack Zeno-sama? Goku would ask, furious. Not at all, Mr. Goku. I was just testing him, Grand Priest would laugh. Goku, you passed the test, Zeno-sama would celebrate. What do you mean a test? Goku would ask without understanding the situation. I attacked you with this arrow just to evaluate it. After all, I need to trust your qualities, Grand Priest would explain. Goku is very skillful, Zeno-sama said. Goku, what do you think if we play? Okay, little Sen, Goku smiled. Meanwhile, Beerus was resting on his planet again. Suddenly, he would jump from his chair. It would be destroyed as if something had attacked it. What the hell? Beerus would ask, alert. Beerus managed to feel the heavy air around him. He felt that something or someone was threatening his life. Could it be the same guy who attacked the Zeno-sama Guardians? Beerus would ask. Beerus managed to perceive the movements in the air. It was as if his enemy were the same airflow that changed rapidly. Little by little, everything around him would be covered in a strange purple fog. It's the same fog that's attacking me. It can't be possible. What kind of being can control the fog at will? Beerus said, as he focused on finding his enemy. Mr. Beerus, he would call as Whis approached, and the fog would fade as if by magic. He escaped, Beerus would shout, alert. I came here because I felt something strange around me. I could see a fog surrounding him, Whis said, and then he would notice that Beerus was hurt. And I see that fog is lethal enough to hurt a god, Beerus said. I think you should let Grand Priest know about this, Beerus suggested. Minutes later, Whis would speak to Grand Priest through his staff explaining about the attack. So in the form of fog, Grand Priest said. That's right, we are not sure if the enemy becomes fog or can manipulate it. What is certain is that it is imperceptible. You can barely feel some of his presence when attacking, Whis said. I don't remember any living being capable of such abilities. But I will speak to the gods of creation to investigate the ways of life they watch, Grand Priest said. Vegeta would be training on planet Earth. Since Whis could not train him, he used the Bulma gravity capsule at greater intensity, which was 2,000 times the gravity of the Earth. Vegeta moved with great agility, despite the difficulty of manipulating so much weight. I have to get stronger. Now that Kakarot is with Zeno, he will surely train for Grand Priest. I can't let him beat me, Vegeta thought. Vegeta at one point would feel something that would prick his feet. Something had cut his skin in that place. Damn, Vegeta said. When looking down, he would see a very thin layer of fog on the ground. But what the hell? Vegeta would ask. Vegeta would rise a few meters inside the capsule. Then he would observe the board that marked 2000 G. I see. The gravity is so strong that fog could not rise, Vegeta thought. But it's strange. I can't feel any presence. The fog was still on the ground. He seemed to want to force himself to rise, but it was impossible for him. In a moment, small sparks would start to come out from the board. It can't be. He's destroying the computer of the capsule from the bottom, Vegeta thought. If he manages to turn it off, he will surely rise and attack me. Vegeta would attack the ground with a key ball, but the attack would not have the slightest effect. It doesn't matter. It's incorporeal, Vegeta thought. The capsule would begin to fail, and for a moment the gravity would remain at 1000 G. The fog would rise and attack the board directly, destroying it completely. So the gravity capsule would stop working completely. Damn it, this can't get any worse, Vegeta said, terrified. The fog would rise to the top, but Vegeta would transform into Super Saiyan Blue and leave the capsule, destroying the ceiling. Vegeta would fly to the top of the sky, and the fog would follow him. Stop bothering me! Vegeta would attack with a series of key attacks, but the fog would receive no damage. Vegeta would move as far as he could until he reached a mountainous area far from any living being. I don't think he followed me here. Then Vegeta would move with agility. There had been a cut on the side of his arm. The airflow, Vegeta thought. Whatever it is that is attacking me, use the airflow to perform cutting attacks. Vegeta would move from side to side thanks to the fact that he felt the airflow move. The attacks managed to dodge them successfully, but he had to find some way to stop it. It can't be. It's an enemy that can't hurt him, Vegeta said. That's it, Vegeta thought when he remembered Majin Buu. Vegeta would remember that moment when he attacked Majin Buu with an energy explosion so that he could not regenerate. Being Fog something that was molded and did not have a real physical body, it would be best to attack him with a ki explosion on a large radio. Vegeta would lie on the floor, cross his arms to withstand the attacks since the fog was cutting him. When he finished accumulating energy, he would attack without hesitation. Vegeta would scream when he made a ki explosion around him. A large explosion would travel several meters away, devastating everything around him. The fog had completely disappeared, while Vegeta would fall on his knees completely exhausted. It's over, Vegeta thought. But I couldn't know if it was someone's attack or if the fog itself was the enemy. Meanwhile, Frieza's ship had just landed on Earth. Now that everyone is defenseless, it's the perfect time, Frieza thought. Frieza would leave the ship and reach Mr. Satan's home. He would find Mr. Satan along with Majin Buu. Wait, I know you. You are that Frieza, Mr. Satan said. He himself, Frieza said, when attacking Mr. Satan with a ki beam, piercing his heart and killing him at the moment. No, Satan! Majin Buu would scream furiously. Majin Buu would expel steam through his holes. He was ready to attack Frieza and take revenge for Mr. Satan's death. Majin Buu would hit Frieza, throwing him several meters away. You're going to pay, Majin Buu said, angry. Many years ago, my father warned me not to mess with Beerus or you, Frieza said with an evil smile. But today, I can say that I would only not mess with Beerus, for now. Frieza would create a ki ball that would move at very low speed towards Majin Buu. I practiced this technique for a long time. You won't get out of there for anything in the world, Frieza said. Majin Buu would attack the ki ball, but it would receive no effect. On the contrary, the ki ball would be trapped in Majin Buu's hand. Then, little by little, it would begin to cover Majin Buu's body. Having it fully covered, the ki ball would shrink until it became a yellow sphere. Now I have you. I can start with my plans, Frieza smiled. Apparently, he needed to capture Majin Buu to begin with his evil plans to destroy Beerus and rule the entire multiverse. Frieza would be in his ship with Majin Buu locked in a capsule specially designed to hold him, while they would stop for a moment on some distant planet. I hope your expectations come true, Bobby D, Frieza said. Bobby D would be working as a team with Frieza. He had been revived thanks to the dragon spheres of the planet Namekusei. I just need Majin Buu so I can save myself years of work, Bobby D would explain. The beings I have created of fog and very powerful wind do not have a long life. It is a lot of work for how little each of them last. I can create an improved being that respects my orders. Majin Buu would look at Bobby D with hatred. He would release steam through his pores. Bobby D, cheater, Majin Buu said furiously when attacking the inside of the capsule with a series of consecutive blows that would have no result. I'm going to blow your head again, he threatened, while Bobby D was terrified. Hey, Frieza, are you sure he can't escape from there? Bobby D would ask Frieza. I've already told you. The capsule isolates all the energy inside, Frieza would explain. Besides, it's under my care. You should have no fear, Frieza smiled in an evil way. Very good. We have to start working on the new specimen, Bobby D would order the other Frieza soldiers who were present there. Inside Majin Buu's capsule, some tubes would enter his body and begin to extract part of his fluids.
"What is this?" Majin Buu would ask. Part of Majin Buu's fluids would travel to another empty capsule where it would begin to shine. A purple fog would be generated inside, mixing with the pink fluids. Majin Buu looked at his hands terrified. He felt how he was weakening. "I have to do something," Majin Buu thought. "They want to use me to create someone evil and strong."
"I can't allow that." Majin Buu would close his eyes and begin to concentrate. Little by little, his body would light up with a strange glow. "What are you supposed to be doing?" Bobby D would ask furiously. "Majin Buu doesn't want your plans to go well," Majin Buu said. Majin Buu's skin seemed to come off. Something pink would remain at the bottom of the capsule. "It can't be." "It's him!" Bobby D would scream, terrified. "What's going on?" "I don't know," Frieza would ask. "It's the sacred Kaioshin," Bobby D would point out. The sacred Kaioshin had released the sacred Kaioshin that he had absorbed years ago. The rest of the pink substance had remained on the ground. This substance was moving, trying to regain its shape, but it seemed to be unconscious. "Bobby D, your plans won't succeed," the sacred Kaioshin said. The sacred Kaioshin would open its eyes, and the capsule would explode from the inside. "Frieza, don't let it escape. We need its magical powers," Bobby D said. The Great Kaioshin would throw 2 lasers from its eyes at Bobby D, but Frieza would deflect the attack with great reflexes. "So, you're some kind of Kaioshin," Frieza said attentively. "Frieza, don't get involved in this," the sacred Kaioshin said while pointing out Bobby D. "This guy will use you and betray you," the sacred Kaioshin said, and then disappear. "No, he just escaped," Bobby D would scream. "Frieza, you're a complete idiot, 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 idiot," Bobby D said while torturing Frieza's body. Frieza would hold Bobby D's wrist with great force. The moment Bobby D looked Frieza in the eye, he would calm down. "I like how you keep your composure," Frieza would smile. "We have what we care about," Frieza said when pointing out the pink substance that was moving without any purpose. Frieza, with the same technique that had locked Majin Buu, would catch the substance to place it in a new capsule. "Ready. I think that's enough," Frieza said. "This has saved me a lot of work, but we have a problem," Bobby D said. "The sacred Kaioshin is a very powerful being. He had faced Majin Buu in the past and knows what he is capable of. It is not his level of fight that makes him dangerous, but his magical abilities." "Then we should go get him," Frieza would answer. Meanwhile, the sacred Kaioshin would reach the sacred planet. "It can't be," the amazed Kaioshin said. "Hello, Shin. What a joy to see you," the sacred Kaioshin said. It can't be you." "The sacred Kaioshin," Shin said in tears. The sacred Kaioshin would explain to the Kaioshin about Frieza's plans and how he separated from Majin Buu. Without delay, they would go to the planet of Beerus, putting them aware of everything. "So, that's what the fog was about," furious Beerus said. "That damn Frieza will pay for this." "We should warn Goku to be aware of Zeno," Kaioshin said. "Are you an idiot?" furious Beerus would ask. "I don't understand, Mr. Beerus," Kaioshin would answer. "What Mr. Beerus means is that if we tell Goku, he will inevitably be with Zeno. That means he will know," Whis would explain. "Knowing that, Zeno would destroy the Universe 7 for convenience. We must solve this ourselves," Whis said. "We have to go for Frieza and Bobby D right now," Beerus would warn. Bobby D was still working on his new creation. He had managed to mix a living being based on violet fog with the substance that had released Majin Buu. "That's it, it's ready," Bobby D said to release a viscous violet substance that moved in a strange way. "It still doesn't look like anything," Frieza said, somewhat discontent with the result. "You haven't seen it in action yet," Bobby D would explain. "Touch it," the magician would ask. "You must be kidding," Frieza said with disgust. "Come on, don't be shy, just touch it a little," Bobby D said with a strange smile. "I'm not going to touch it," Frieza would deny. "I need you to touch it to show you its true potential," Bobby D said. Frieza would bring his finger closer with some slowness. The violet fog would react to Frieza and cover his hand completely. "God, how disgusting," Frieza said when removing the substance from his hand instantly. "Perfect, now just watch," Bobby D said, while the violet fog began to take humanoid form. Little by little, the fog would adopt Frieza's form, imitating him completely. "It can't be, it's just like me," Frieza said surprised. "You, Frieza, me, what am I?" said the strange entity. "What's going on with you?" Frieza would ask amazed.
This form of life can adopt the form of another living being if it touches it. Not only that, it can also understand part of its abilities, said Bobby D with a strange smile. I see, it looks very interesting, but I highly doubt it can match my power, said Frieza. Frieza would throw a fist blow, knocking down the entity. This entity would stand up. Pain, fight, power, fist, said the entity, speaking clumsily. The entity would become its viscous form and would begin to touch each of Frieza's soldiers. So little by little it assimilated its knowledge and skills. It will never be able to match the original, but that doesn't matter, because it will become stronger as it harvests the knowledge and powers of others, said Bobby D. This creation will even surpass Majin Buu, because it is totally obedient to me. Name, said the entity when taking Frieza's form and pointing out. Do you want a name? Asked Bobby D. Everything has a name in this universe, and what does not have it is assigned to one, said the entity that little by little developed its intelligence. I will call you Tessay, said Bobby D when giving it a name. That name is to my liking, said Tessay. Tell me, Bobby D, could that Tessay learn from Zeno and the other gods? Asked Frieza. Of course, it can assimilate its skills, but not with the same level. Just touching Zeno, I doubt much that it can match its ability to disappear everything, but surely it is immune to his power, said Bobby D. Bad Frieza, said Tessay. What do you mean by that? Asked Frieza. Hey, you better control it, said furious Frieza, as what Tessay said was true. Tessay would begin mutating his body. He would transform into the different soldiers of Frieza's by shifts, then he would take a totally different form. I decided that this will be my way of establishing my identity, said Tessay. Tessay, attack Frieza. I don't want to take any risks, said Bobby D. Damn, Bobby D, Frieza would complain, while deciding to take out the magician Bobby D, but Tessay with a punch would take Frieza out of the ship. Frieza would stand up. Now they would fight outside the ship. You're just an imitator. Don't think you're stronger than me, said Frieza. You are using intimidation because you're afraid of me. I know how you think, said Tessay. Frieza's soldiers, alerted to Bobby D's betrayal, would aim him with their weapons. Wow, after all, they turned out to be great women, said Bobby D. Bobby D's eyes would shine, and so he would blow up the heads of each of Frieza's soldiers.
Frieza would begin to fight against Tessay. At first, Tessay's attacks did not do him the slightest damage to Frieza, but Tessay regenerated from his wounds almost instantly. How interesting. You have a good regeneration power. Frieza smiled as he accumulated energy in his hand. So I should attack you in such a way that I will destroy each of your molecules. Suddenly, Beerus would arrive along with Whis, interrupting the fight. Damn, it can't be that they will arrive right now, Frieza thought, terrified. Go, Frieza. It seems that someone wants to be destroyed, said Beerus with a dark smile. He's a god, right? A god that destroys, said Tessay when pointing to Beerus. Hey, more respect, you're talking to a god, said Beerus as he approached Tessay. Don't do it, don't touch him, Frieza said, terrified. What a strange guy. Whis thought carefully when analyzing Tessay. Mr. Beerus, don't let him touch you, Frieza warned. Tessay's arm would stretch to reach Beerus. Tessay would support his hand's palm on the chest of the god of destruction. Interesting, said Tessay. Beerus would take Tessay's wrist and squeeze it hard. Hey, do you want to be destroyed? Beerus would ask. Tessay's hand would become liquid, escaping Beerus's grip. Beerus would use his Hakai on Tessay, but nothing would happen. Tessay's body would be covered in Hakai energy, but it wouldn't work. It can't be, Beerus said, terrified. I can't destroy him with my Hakai. This is serious. I have to flee from here, Frieza thought. Frieza would try to flee, but Tessay interrupts his flight by placing himself in front of him. Tessay would hit Frieza with a kick, throwing him to the ground. What is that force? Frieza would ask. I have to kill you, because you would kill me if you could, said Tessay as he stretched his hand towards Frieza. Frieza would transform into his golden form, ready to give it all. Mr. Beerus? Something happened here that we don't know, Whis warned. Let's see what happens, Beerus said, attentive to the situation. Damn, weirdo, you'll pay for messing with the great Frieza, Frieza said. Frieza would attack Tesei with everything he had, but Tesei now has a superior power. Tesei's attacks on Frieza would leave him almost out of combat instantly. With a last punch, he would knock Frieza down, leaving him out of combat. "You're a bastard," Frieza said as he tried to stand up. "I want to try something," Tesei said. Tesei would stretch his hand towards Frieza. A purple aura would manifest in his hand. "It can't be," Beerus, terrified, said. "Now I understand," Whis said, surprised. "Hakai," Tesei said as he pointed at Frieza. Now that strange being named Tesei had learned some of Beerus's techniques. He gave up destruction and was becoming more and more powerful. Frieza was in trouble. Tesei, a being created by Babidi, had absorbed Beerus's skills and would use Hakai on Frieza. Although the attack would have effect, it would only disappear the lower part of his body and an arm. "Damn it!" Frieza would scream, terrified and in great pain. "Wow, it looks like he only knows how to use Hakai," Whis laughed. "It can't be. This can't be happening to me," Frieza thought. "Let me help you," Beerus said as he deepened his voice. "Hakai," Beerus said as he disappeared the rest of Frieza's body. "That must be the god of destruction. It's dangerous for him to know of my presence," Babidi thought. "I must be careful with Tesei. I can't let him disappear." "Hey, come a little closer and tell me your name," Beerus would ask. "I can't do it. You're my enemy, but I can tell you my name. My name is Tesei." Tesei would introduce himself and then take the form of Beerus. "Are you imitating me?" Beerus, furious, said. "Tesei, can you hear me? I'm talking inside your mind," Babidi said. "Of course, I hear you," Tesei said, but in a loud voice. "Don't talk, just think that I can hear you," Babidi said. "I'm sorry. How about this?" Tesei would answer inside Babidi's mind. "You have to stay away from him. He's too strong and could destroy you," Babidi said. "Judging by your behavior, I think someone must be talking in your mind," Beerus said. "Wow, he knew. I didn't think he was so good," Tesei was surprised. "He's an idiot. He still lacks common sense," Babidi thought. "Tesei, don't talk to him. Run away. He'll destroy you," Babidi said again. "He won't. He's curious about me. I'm curious about him, too," Tesei said in his mind. "Hey, sir, may I touch him?" Tesei would ask while watching Whis. "Excuse me?" Whis would ask. "Maybe I didn't express myself well. I have the desire to touch him. It's just for my own good. I'm not going to hurt him," Tesei would explain. Tesei would stretch his arm that grew exaggeratedly towards Whis, but he wouldn't touch him. He only offered his hand as a greeting. "Give me your hand, please. It's like a greeting," Tesei said. "Wait, Whis, Frieza said we shouldn't touch him," Beerus said, but it was too late. Whis had given Tesei his hand. Tesei's eyes would put in white when he felt the essence of an angel. His ki would begin to increase uncontrollably. Babidi would try to speak mentally with Tesei, but he would feel a stab in his head. Tesei's mind assimilated a lot of knowledge. "Now I understand everything. I know how both universes work," Tesei said when he got serious. His expression was different. Aggressiveness was noticeable in him. "You did it," Babidi said when leaving the ship. "Congratulations, Tesei. Now you have the essence of an angel and a god of destruction." "So you were Babidi," Beerus said when preparing a Hakai. "But I have the obligation to protect Mr. Babidi. Also, you're dangerous," Tesei said when connecting a strong kick to Beerus's chest. Beerus could barely get up.
The wound had been huge. "Mr. Goku, do you hear me?" Whis said inside Goku's mind. "Whis, are you in my mind?" Goku would ask himself. "Yes, I have to warn you about the threat," Whis said in Goku's mind. "Why are you talking to Goku?" Tessay would ask the angel. "It can't be. Listen to my thoughts," Whis thought, terrified. "Of course I can hear them. For every being I touch, my existence improves even more," Tessay said, annoyed. Tessay would approach Whis at high speed, and he would hit him in the neck, leaving him breathless. "That's it, Tessay. You're doing great," Babidi said while laughing. "Goku, don't let Tessay touch Zeno," Whis would warn. Whis would approach Beerus with his baculum and disappear in a flash of light. "I know how you do that," Tessay said, and using the same technique would follow Whis. Tessay would interrupt the trip of Whis and Beerus. Both were in the middle of space. "I won't let you escape. According to what I know of you, you must kill me because Zeno could disappear the whole universe just for my existence," Tessay said. "What he said is correct, but as you can see, we don't have the power to fight you, so we refuse to fight," Whis said. "Well, but it would be a risk to leave them alive,"
Tessay would explain. "I hope they don't take it as something personal, but it is the law of survival of all species." Tessay would start fighting Whis. The angel could barely face him. He would not be able to dodge a single of his attacks. "Wait, I better not kill them," Tessay said, and flee from there. Leaving Whis and Beerus alone in space, Whis would take Beerus back to his planet. On the way, he would talk telepathically with Goku. Goku was aware of what was happening, but he knew perfectly well. "It seems that I could not face someone capable of defeating an angel. This is wrong," Goku thought, very tense. "Goku, what's wrong with you? It seems that you no longer want to play," Zeno said. "Little Zen, I have to tell you something, but promise me one thing." Goku said in a very serious tone that he would alert Zeno. "Okay, tell me, but I hope you haven't done anything wrong," Zeno said. Goku would take a few minutes to explain all the truth to Zeno, regardless of Whis' warnings. "Goku, I'm very happy that you are my friend. Only friends tell the truth, like you just did," Zeno said happily. "Zeno, it's not that bad," Goku would answer, somewhat embarrassed. "As a sign of my gratitude, I promise not to destroy Universe 7. Anyway, you will have to take care of it," Zeno would explain. "What? But surpass Whis, there is nothing I can do," Goku said. "Is that it? Or should I destroy Universe 7? I don't have many options. As you will see, if I allow Mio or Grand Priest to touch me, we will all be finished," Zeno warned. "Then I must choose to destroy Universe 7. If you send me to fight him, he will end everyone," Goku said, embarrassed. "Goku, we can make you stronger than the angels," Zeno said. "Really?" Goku would ask. "Of course, but before that you must have contact with him," Zeno would order. Grand Priest would appear, receiving Zeno's instructions. "Sir, are you sure?" Grand Priest would ask. "Of course. After all, I want to see a good fight," Zeno said. You could read the expression of concern in Grand Priest, and when observing Goku, he would laugh. "They are orders from Zeno, if he says so," Goku said. "Okay," Grand Priest would sigh. Grand Priest would send Goku to the location of Tessay and Babidi. "What are you doing here?" Babidi would ask confusedly. "Hello, I just came to say hello to Tessay," Goku said when extending his hand. "You are Goku. I know you. I know about you thanks to the memories of Frieza, Beerusbub, and Whis," Tessay said on guard. "I'm surprised that you come here. Surely you come with a plan." "I just came to say hello. They told me that you are a very strong guy, and I could not miss the opportunity to greet you," Goku said while extending his hand. Grand Priest saw everything from his crystal ball, and when clacking his fingers, Goku would lose most of his memories. Then Tessay would greet Goku with a handshake. Tessay now had the nature of Goku, but he would be surprised to feel his memories empty. "Who are you?" Goku would ask. "What do you mean, who am I?" Tessay would ask annoyingly. Now that I think about it, I don't remember how I got here, Goku said. Do you think I'm an idiot? Tessay would ask furiously. Goku would disappear from there in a flash of light thanks to Grand Priest's technique and return to the planet of Zeno. What happens, Tessay? Bobby D would ask confusedly. They erased Goku's memory the moment I absorbed his essence, Tessay said. Once I absorb someone's essence, I can't do it again. That means they have a plan and they don't want us to know, Bobby D said. Great Bobby D, we have to attack right now before they do anything, Tessay would recommend. Wait, we're talking about Zeno. We can't erupt that way, Bobby D warned. That's why I left Whis alive. I'll go through him, Tessay said to become Whis. You see, sir, this way I can have contact with Zeno and go unnoticed, Tessay said, and then his original form would return. That's a good idea, Tessay. I'm so proud of you. Let's go. Now Tessay put his hand on Bobby D's shoulder. Don't touch me, Bobby D would scream, terrified. I've given you the order not to have contact with me. Damn it, it was just a second, but I hope you haven't seen my memories, Bobby D thought. Tessay would watch Bobby D with great hatred. So you plan to destroy me, Tessay said, furious. No, wait, don't misinterpret it. It was just a precaution in case I got out of control, Bobby D said, terrified. Remember that I gave you life. I can understand it, but I must also take precautions, Tessay said as he stretched his hand towards Bobby D. Hakai, Tessay would scream, completely disappearing Bobby D. Meanwhile, on the planet of Zeno, Goku was ready to increase his power as Zeno had promised him. Very well, I'm ready, Goku said. Grand Priest would shake his fingers. From one moment to another, Grand Priest and Goku would meet in a strange place where there was only darkness. What is this place? Goku would ask attentively. A special place where you will test your new powers without running the risk of destroying everything around you, Grand Priest would explain. They haven't explained that new powers to me yet, Goku said, somewhat discomforted. Grand Priest would take out a very strange glass jar with engravings of some kind of runes. Here is the method, Grand Priest said. What is that? Goku would ask. This is the sacred water, Grand Priest would explain. It is a very powerful water that has been forged since the beginning of creation, in case someone should replace Zeno. Drinking this liquid, you will be a definitive being, Grand Priest would comment. Wait a minute, that easy? Goku would ask. Of course, you just have to drink the water and then we will put it to the test, Grand Priest said. The purpose of Tessay having contact with you was to absorb his essence before he was a definitive being. If he had done it later, we would be in trouble, Grand Priest would comment. That was very smart, Goku would answer. Goku would drink the content without thinking. Instantly, he would feel a strange sensation. His entire body would experience something never described to him. Know that we have allowed this with you because we know that he is a person of pure heart and without bad intentions, Grand Priest said. Goku would sigh. He looked more serious than normal. Grand Priest would punch Goku, but he receives the blow in his hand. At the moment of impact, a flash of color would originate. Surprising, more than I expected, Grand Priest said. Let's go back. Let's not waste any more time. Grand Priest would scratch his fingers, returning to the planet of Zeno. But to the surprise of both, there were two Zeno. This can't be happening. Who is the original Zeno? Goku would ask. It's me, both Zenos said at the same time when pointing to themselves. They acted in the same way. That bastard infiltrated us while we were absent, Goku thought. Goku, you got very strong, both Zenos said.
Hey, stop imitating me or I'll disappear you, both Zenos said. Only the real Zeno could disappear to say, Goku said. Both Zeno looked at each other seriously. Disappear, both Zenos said at the same time, and Goku would be very surprised by what would happen after that. Both Zeno would raise their hand high, but neither would disappear. Why don't you disappear? Both Zeno would ask at the same time. Grand Priest, get out of here, Goku would order. Mr. Goku, it's a very risky situation to leave Zeno alone, Grand Priest said seriously. If Desai has contact with you, no one can against him. Goku would explain. Grand Priest would be thoughtful for a few minutes, but he would realize that what Goku said was true. He should go to minimize risks. I leave it in your hands, Mr. Goku, Grand Priest said when disappearing. Now I must find a way to find out who the real Zeno is. Goku thought. It will be difficult because he partially has his memories. Very well. Who is Zeno? Goku would ask. It's me, both Zeno said at the same time. You are not Zeno, I am Zeno, both Zeno said. I know, only the real Zeno knows how many universes there are in total, Goku said. 12, both Zeno would answer. Come on, think, there must be some way to identify Tesei, Goku thought. Goku would observe both Zeno carefully. He was looking for something to betray the imposter. He knew it couldn't take long or Tesei would take some action. It's you, Goku would scream after punching one of the Zeno. The one who would be hit by Goku would be fired several meters. His body would become liquid and become Tesei. Damn! Furious Tesei would scream. It is impossible for you to discover me. How did you do it? Zeno is very smart, Zeno said cheerfully. None of that, Goku would laugh. I'm not very smart for these things, so I hit one to test your luck. You're crazy, Tesei said, upset when he stood up. Did you really test your luck? You could have hit me, Zeno said seriously. Yes, I know, Goku would laugh. Well, it doesn't matter. It was fun and it worked, Zeno said. Go away, little Sen, I would ask Goku to get serious. Zeno would run away without thinking, leaving only Goku and Tesei. Hey, Tesei, first of all, I want you to know something, Goku said. I just achieved a fantastic power. I dare to say that I am one of the most powerful beings in the two universes. I bet you also because you touched Zeno. What do you mean by that? Tesei would ask. I'm sure this will be the last exciting fight I'll have in a long time, so I want you to take it seriously. I want to enjoy this moment, Goku would explain. Somehow I understand, Tesei would answer. I have the same feeling as you. If I win, I will be a very powerful being, and I will not get bored much. I will never have another fight like this. To be honest, I no longer see them as threats. I could live a normal life if I wanted to. But according to the memories of Zeno, Whis, and Beerus, someone like me should not exist. That means I have to fight anyway. I understand, Goku said when using the state of the Ultra Instinct. Goku was seen with his white hair unleashing a huge power. Wow, you haven't even practiced. This power allows you to use the Ultra Instinct in its maximum splendor, Tesei said. Whenever you want, Goku said on guard. Both would remain motionless for a moment. They waited for the reaction of their opponent. From one moment to another, both would clash their fists with each other. The great burst of power would explode Zeno's palace. Goku and Tesei fought intensely, giving it their all. Both were at the same level, giving a fair fight. You don't do anything wrong, Goku said. Neither do you, Tesei would answer. Both would move away from each other. From a certain distance, they would attack with a ki beam. Both attacks would hit each other, staying leveled for a long time, after a duel of powers that would generate an explosion from the center. It seems that we have the same level, Tesei smiled. That's right, Goku would answer. That means I have an advantage for the composition of my body, Tesei warned. Damn it. Tesei would stretch his arm to reach Goku, but Goku would fly away while the arm followed him without stopping to expand. Goku would decide to launch at Tesei, but before reaching him, he would roll his arm around Goku's body and begin to squeeze it hard. Damn it, he caught me, Goku would groan as his bones began to sound. Tesei would impact Goku's body against the ground over and over, hurting him with gravity. That's enough, Goku would avoid by forcing his ki. Tesei's arm would break due to Goku's great explosion of ki, but his arm would regenerate instantly. I think you already have it clear, Tesei said something off. This fight is decided from the beginning, for the advantage of my body that regenerates like Majin Buu. It's possible, but I'm sorry to inform you that I never give up, Goku smiled, demonstrating his great confidence. You surrendered against Cell in his tournament, Tesei would answer. That doesn't count, Goku would scream when he launched at Tesei. Goku would attack Tesei furiously, but little by little the energy expenditure would begin to charge. Goku's attacks would begin to weaken, they lost power and speed. Tesei at one point would hold Goku's face. You know you will lose, Tesei said. Goku would move away from Tesei and begin to attack him again. Tesei, in this case, would stop defending himself. He would receive all the attacks without complaint. Damn it, you make fun of me,
Goku said furiously. Tesei would recover from his wounds, demonstrating his regeneration. Goku would attack Tesei with a ki beam. The attack would hit his body, leaving a hole that allowed him to see through it. Tesei did not look tired, much less sore. Little by little, his wound would close. "You will continue to spend energy in vain. I won," Tesei said. "I told you I won't give up," Goku would scream as he prepared a Kamehameha. "You know that technique will be useless if you throw it directly," Tesei said without much eagerness to continue. Goku would ignore him. Little by little he prepared his Kamehameha, but before throwing it, he would appear behind Tesei to attack him from behind. To Goku's surprise, just before throwing his attack, Tesei would kick his hands, causing Goku's Kamehameha to fail. Goku looked agitated. He had just lost his transformation. Tesei would simply turn around, ignoring Goku. "What are you doing?" Goku would ask. "It makes no sense to keep fighting. I won this fight," Tesei said. "What are you going to do now that you won?" Goku would ask while sitting on the ground. "Logically, I would go to kill Zeno and the other gods," Tesei would explain. "It's not that I want to do it, but if I don't, they'll kill me somehow." "Wait," Goku would scream to stop Tesei.
Let me talk to the gods. I'm sure that if I talk to them, they can get along. You're not a bad guy after all," Goku would explain. "I have part of the memories of Zeno, Whis, and Beerus. I know how they think." "They won't accept," Tesei would answer, "but not the memories of Grand Priest," Goku said. Tesei seemed interested for a moment, but he abandoned the idea instantly. "I refuse," Tesei would answer. "I'm not going to take such a risk." Goku would take courage, and with the few energies he had, he would throw himself at Tesei again. Goku hit desperately, but his attacks had no effect. "Enough, Goku. I don't want to kill you." "I understand how you feel," Tesei said. Tesei would give Goku a slight blow and throw him away. Then Tesei would start flying to retreat. "Wait!" Goku would scream. Tesei would turn, already upset, but he would be taken by surprise to observe Goku's posture. "What are you supposed to do?" Tesei would ask furiously. Tesei saw how Goku had raised his arms to prepare a Genki Dama. "Don't think I'll give you enough time to prepare that technique," Tesei said as he threw himself at Goku. Tesei was about to arrive, but a breeze would drive him away. "What was that?" Tesei would ask. The sacred Kaioshin would come to cover Goku. "To be honest, I had a little hope that someone would support me," Goku said. "We are all with you. The angels are sending energy from both universes for you to finish the Genki Dama," the sacred Kaioshin would explain. "Damn intruder," Tesei said as he tried to attack the sacred Kaioshin, but his body would sink to the ground. "My technique of increasing gravity will keep him occupied," the sacred Kaioshin said. "Now finish him. We trust you, Goku," the sacred Kaioshin said. Tesei would force his ki to overcome the enormous increased gravity that affected his body. Goku would have the Genki Dama ready. "It's not possible. It didn't take long at all," Tesei thought. The angels were gathered together with Grand Priest and Zeno. They observed everything with great attention. "Is this or nothing? If Goku does not defeat Tesei here, we will be finished," Grand Priest said. "Goku is using a Genki Dama with the energy of the two universes. If that doesn't stop him, nothing will," Whis said. "Goku is very strong," Zeno would comment. Goku had his Genki Dama ready. He was determined to attack with everything. He would throw the Genki Dama at Tesei. "Curse!" Tesei would scream when resisting the Genki Dama. Tesei had the great ball of energy suspended, but he made a great effort to resist the attack. Little by little, his feet would begin to sink to the ground. "Come on, Genki Dama, don't let me down," Goku said with his last strength. Tesei would begin to take advantage. Little by little, he began to advance towards Goku. "Goku is about to return," Kaioshin warned. "I know, but I'm on my limits," Goku would answer by losing his balance and taking a false step, but even so, he would not fall. The sacred Kaioshin would approach Goku and give him all the energy he could. "Come on, Goku, you can," Kaioshin said. "If you keep giving me your energy, you can die,"
Goku warned. "It is more dangerous for that subject to return the Genki Dama. If he does, we will all die," the Sacred Kaioshin would answer. The Sacred Kaioshin would begin to weaken slowly, but the energy he had given Goku was enough. Goku would transform into Super Saiyan and manage to return the Genki Dama. Tessei's hands would begin to lose. He could no longer contain the attack. "It can't be!" Tessei would scream. The Genki Dama would completely disintegrate Tessei without leaving a trace of him. "We did it," Goku said when he lost his transformation. "Well done, son," the Sacred Kaioshin would celebrate. Goku would meet with the others, celebrating the victory. "Guys, I have to thank all of you," Goku said cheerfully. "If it weren't for your help, I wouldn't have been able to create such a powerful Genki Dama. Mr. Goku, let me tell you that you have saved the fate of the 2 universes," Grand Priest said. "If only Tessei had had contact with the Grand Priest, everything would be chaos," Whis would comment. "He loves us. I'm sorry about your palace. We completely destroyed it in the fight," Goku laughed. "No problem. Grand Priest will clear it in a couple of hours," Zeno would answer. Grand Priest would feel something that would touch him in his pocket. He would be scared to see Tessei's hand. "It can't be," Grand Priest said as he retreated, worried. Everyone would realize what was happening. Tessei's hand was loose. He had survived the Genki Dama. The gods of destruction would use Hakai on the loose hand, but it would have no effect. Zeno would try to disappear it, but it would be the same result. The hand would take a viscous form. Little by little it would grow, recovering Tessei completely. "It can't be! I saw you disappear completely," Goku said. "In theory, yes," Tessei said. "When I wrapped my arm and you made pieces exploding your ki, I left my hand away just in case something like this happened," Tessei smiled. Grand Priest would connect a precise blow to Tessei, but it would not do him the slightest damage. "I have your essence. There is no one who can stop me. Now everyone will die," Tessei said, somewhat angry. He was already tired of the gods and all the universes. He wanted to completely destroy everything. The planet Vegeta was directed by Queen Jean, a Saiyan woman with a special genetics. She would become queen because each child she had was much stronger than the average. In this way, Jean would act like a queen bee, having children with the most powerful Saiyans to create the best Saiyans. Her main husband was King Vegeta, Vegeta's father. He also had other Saiyan husbands who were considered second-hand, among them Bardock, Goku's father. Jean was the one who gave the orders. Above all, whoever did not comply with her demands was eliminated. It was said that even Frieza feared her for her proud way of governing. One day, a tournament of martial arts would be formed where each of Jean's children would face each other to determine who would be the legitimate heir. For some strange reason, Jean only had male children. She had not managed the daughter woman so that she would continue with her way of reigning. So she would choose among the strongest of her children so that he was the king in case she left. The tournament of martial arts would begin with Goku and Nappa fighting each other. "Kakarot, with what are you the son of Bardock?" Nappa said. "Yes, I am," Goku said seriously. "That good-for-nothing? I don't know how he was with Queen Jean. After all, he's a middle-class warrior," Nappa said. "Just look at the fool of your brother Raditz." "Are you going to keep talking or are you going to fight?" Goku said seriously. "Nappa is a braggart," Vegeta said. "His father was very humble. Who was this trash so arrogant?" Jean said.
King Vegeta would watch her. He did not dare to say what he thought, since Janae was really arrogant. "Do you want to tell me something?" Janae said seriously. Janae's sharp gaze would leave King Vegeta terrified. "No, my queen," Vegeta said. Bardock was behind the kings, along with Janae's other husbands. "Come on, Kakarot, you have to be the heir," Bardock thought. Goku and Nappa would start their fight. Nappa would put himself on guard, but Goku showed a carefree posture. It seemed that, for him, Nappa meant nothing. So you think you're good? I will defeat you with a single blow, Nappa said. I'm an idiot, Vegeta said, waiting for his turn. Nappa would run towards Goku and throw a punch, but Goku would move aside without greater effort, dodging the blow with the least necessary movement. Nappa, furious, would throw another attack, but Goku would dodge it again. Idiot, do you think you're funny? Nappa said. Nappa would raise his ki to the maximum. He would attack Goku with a shower of blows, impressing everyone, but he couldn't hit him once. Everyone would be impressed by Goku's power. Then Goku, with a single blow, would throw Nappa far away. He had only slapped him. Nappa would crash against a wall as he left the platform, and he would be unconscious. Everyone would be amazed by his power. Everyone except Janae and Bardock, who knew what he was capable of. It can't be true, King Vegeta, disconcerted, said. Vegeta will have to be careful. Kakarot is stronger than he looks, Janae said. Even so, my son is the best of all. I know he will beat Kakarot. After all, his father is useless, King Vegeta said. This fool will take the surprise of his life, Bardock thought. Hey, don't do it, another of Janae's husbands said in a low voice. You know how the king is. Yes, I know, Bardock said. Vegeta had just defeated his rival without problems. He was considered one of the strongest Saiyans on the planet. Not like Goku, who was barely known, since Goku was very low profile and did not like to draw attention. The tournament would continue to advance its course. In the final, Goku and Vegeta would be left. It was to be expected that the final would come against you, Goku said with a big smile. You only came because the others are worse than you, not because you are better than me, Vegeta said. We'll see that now, Goku said. I will be the winner. Stop talking and start fighting, Janae said. After this, Goku and Vegeta would be on guard, ready to fight. In an instant, both would throw each other, colliding their forearms with each other. The others would be amazed by the speed of each of them. It's not true, Vegeta said between teeth when he witnessed Goku's great potential. I didn't tell you I would make it easy for you, Goku said. Goku and Vegeta would continue their battle by demonstrating a wide range of skills. Both gave everything to be the winner. King Vegeta would feel the real terror. If his son lost and Goku became the heir, his position as king, being the main husband of Janae, would be dangerous. It can't be true. My son has to win anyway, King Vegeta thought. I notice you very nervous, Janae said while watching the fight. Are you afraid that if Goku wins, he will take away your privileges? Not at all, King Vegeta would answer. Anyway, I am the strongest Saiyan among your husbands. Of course, Janae said with some sarcasm. The fight between Goku and Vegeta would continue to extend, with both fighting to the limit. Everything seemed to be an extreme fight, with Goku and Vegeta using their powers to the maximum. But the battle would be interrupted when the sky darkens. A shadow would begin to cover all the ground. In the sky, Frieza's daughter's ship announces its arrival. What the hell? Janae, furious, said. I don't understand. What is Frieza doing here? King Vegeta said. Goku and Vegeta would be forced to stop their fight. They knew that Frieza's presence was not pleasant. The Emperor of the Evil used many Saiyans to conquer planets, but it was not as if they had many options. Frieza was a tyrant, capable of everything to fulfill his whims. The only Saiyans who were safe and assured to survive were the royalty, Janae, his husbands, and all the princes. That bastard came at the worst time, Vegeta said. Kakarot, Vegeta, Janae would call when he stood up. Get out of here.
Then we will continue the fight." "But Mother," Goku said. "Do not question me if you fulfill my orders," Janae said. Several royal soldiers would enter the platform, forcing Goku and Vegeta to withdraw. Then we see Frieza and the special forces of Ginyu descend. The Emperor of the Evil had a proud expression. He seemed in a bad mood. "Frieza, this is not a good time," Janae said seriously. "Janae, my warrior creator," Frieza said with a special smile that would make Janae in a bad mood. "I have told you more than once that I do not like you to call me that," Janae said. "Whatever. I am aware of all this meeting and that you are looking for a successor," Frieza said. "Do you feel old?" "What do you want?" Janae said. "I want to talk about business," Frieza said. Everyone would be disconcerted by Frieza's plan. Nothing good could come of it. "Let's talk in private," Janae said. On the other hand, we see Goku and Vegeta sheltered inside the royal castle. "Vegeta, I don't like this," Goku said. "It's very coincidental that Frieza came to interrupt the last battle." "We have to do something," Vegeta said. "Surely that condemnation plans something." "Idiot, shut up. See if someone listens to you," Vegeta said. "Do you want Frieza to kill us? Do you want him to kill our mother?" Goku said. "You are naive," Vegeta said arrogantly. "You still think our mother has feelings for us. She only does this for royal blood. You have to understand it once and for all." "I can't believe you think that," Goku said. "Annoying. You don't have a pinch of empathy in your heart." "Empathy? Of course not," Vegeta said. "Is that sold in a pharmacy?" Vegeta said. Goku would express annoyance. Suddenly, Raditz would arrive. He looked very upset. "Raditz, what are you doing here?" Goku said. "You have to run away," Raditz said. "What are you talking about?" Vegeta said. "There is no time," Raditz said. "Hide as far as possible and do not trust anyone." "But tell us what happens. Is it Frieza?" Goku said. "I don't have time to give explanations, but Frieza does not want heirs," Raditz said. "The Special Forces Ginyu come for you. If they don't leave, they will die." "It has to be a joke," Vegeta said. "Stop wasting time and get out. I will distract them," Raditz said. "Are you crazy? You can't fight them," Goku said. "I will not fight. I will just look for an excuse to look for them elsewhere," Raditz said. Meanwhile, the Special Forces Ginyu ran inside the castle. The royal soldiers would be executed by them as if nothing